Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Just all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect preaching this word in truth and sincerity. On the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord well with another video to edify. And hey man, we in the days where all hell is about to break loose on the earth, and everything that the Lord had the prophets of the old times speaking about, these things are happening in our days. And like the scriptures say, Satan shall come down having great wrath because he know that he had but a short time. He's hastening his plans because he sees that his kingdom is slipping away. And the amount of things that are running off course and that aren't working out for him, we don't know the full extent because, hey, these devils own the media. They own information, right? They're able to let go whatever information they want. So a lot of things actually don't even get to our viewpoint to be able to go into. But even then, the Lord reveals where he's fallen. So I'm going to play this, a couple other ones, and Lord will, let's all be edifying. Let me slow it down, man. Oh, it is slowed down.
Emergency of international concern.
It says the C's unconventional new HIV czar. And it's a Mo. And look it on his chest. Look on his chest right there. They did these things for a reason, man. They did these things for a reason. I don't want to play too much more because it's going to say something in there. I don't want the video to get hit. So I want to jump in another one, right? This is an article. China to screen arrivals for the pox as Pakistan reports first case of deadly virus. And out of nowhere, now it's a deadly virus. Right, when before they said it was symptoms like little pox or smallpox. Now it's deadly. Right, you saw in that first video the highly possible and highly probable connection to that juice they shot into niggas' veins from 2019 to 2022, right? Heavily. And now you have this stuff hitting off right as election time's coming, right as winter's looming, when the immune systems are supposed to drop and things are supposed to go off the chart. So
We get it. Life's tough.
What is a polycrisis, and how and when could it happen?
We're actually in the midst of one at the moment. We have an energy crisis and food crisis, and economic downturn that are all happening at the same time. It's the set of concurrent cascading risks that happen at the same time. So that's where we are today. That's 2023. What we're seeing, though, is that in the 2-year time frame, in the 10-year time frame, we're at the risk of more of these polycrises unfolding.
see, they telling you that. that it's gonna ever get worse. Right? They're telling you that it's ever gonna get worse. So these plagues, this pestilence, Jeremiah 28 is playing out in your eyes, and the prophets are here to tell you. Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And this is what we should be talking about. Not about whether or not you can, well, it has to be said, you shouldn't be popping a woman on a Sabbath because it's against the law. But outside of that, it shouldn't be all these other debates about nonsensical shit. You got real things popping up on the horizon. The real prophets are going to prophesy against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And we see part of that, like she said, the poly crisis. It's a crisis of energy, crisis of food, crisis of illnesses, all type of stuff. Food insecurity is already in the earth now, to where they're passing all these laws because, the scriptures say back in the book of Genesis, when you talked about Cain, it says, henceforth shall the earth no longer yield up its strength unto thee. Right? I think that's Cain. Let me see. Oh, well. Close that room. Genesis. Yeah, I was right. I was talking about Cain, right? So now they got to come out with these fake foods. This devil's not giving the land Sabbaths. This place is completely falling and crumbling right before our eyes. And when you see all these, like she said, all these different crises popping up, whether or not it be the illness, these illnesses, whether or not it be wars, whether or not it be economic collapses, uncertainty in the markets, this devil had his foot in it. Because remember, the scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He's the one who has the control of this thing. This devil is not going to have a system to where it's just going to operate autonomously, and whoever's on the side of getting a dub is going to get a dub. Nah, this entire system is completely controlled. But right now we're seeing, and I believe these plagues that's coming now, I think they're gonna be the real ones, man. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 11. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And wasn't Egypt hit with boils? Right? This is Exodus. Get in another sword. Exodus 9 and in 9 it says, and it shall come to pass small dust, and it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains, right? Breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. It says that they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven, and it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and beast, and the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. Right? So wait till this stuff pop up, and you're gonna be seeing these these people in these high up positions popping up on news feeds with braille books for lips because they got the whole you know, Curious George bumps, right? If you know what that is, you know what Curious George was, what type of animal. You got to use code words, man. But Egypt got hit with it, so it says right here, 2 Exodus 15 and 11, it says, "And I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it." And that's what's happening, man. We're in the year of the poly crisis. Remember, they declared that in 2023. Now 2024 is here. People towards the end of towards mid 2023, probably towards the earlier half of 2023, going in 2024, people thought it was sweet. And then what happened? Then you had the war with Ukraine kick off. Going back to 2022. Right? Going into 2023, it intensified. Then you had economic downturn. There's mass layoffs happening. Just like things that happened in ancient Egypt. Like the scriptures say, that which is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the heavens. Right? But these devils have cooked up these plans, cooked up these diseases, right? And they've used the symptom of their witchcraft, right? I gotta show this part.
Attack often in the context. Mpox is transmitted by close skin-to-skin contact, often in the
I don't want to
context
play
of
that
sex.
bit. Where's it at? Right there it says from thousands in 2022 to just 5 cases a week in 2023. Proud of the efforts despite stigma within and against the Mo community. And you see the headline, how Mo men saved us from Curious George pox. Because what? Then they dare to post a child, any so-called, inoculation that they come up with to fight it, they can attribute it to that community. So now they're saying that these are your saviors. And then they post these people. They had the Olympics with the whole debauchery that they surrounded in making the Lord's Last Supper, and even further, right? Because going back to that paint, made it a further mockery against the Heavenly Father and His Son, and put a whole bunch of moles in there and drag. And now these are your saviors. These devils are on a tirade, right? They going fully in the way of Satan. And they're going to sit here and tell you who is God. And it's going to be whatever they make. Right? These devils is getting they off the chain. Right? But the Lord has a response. It's Isaiah 5 and 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." And that right there, that's putting light for darkness. That's putting darkness for light and light for darkness. That's taking the bitter and calling it sweet. And at the end of the day, now that these are supposed to be your saviors, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and strong men and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. You see, this is what these devils are doing, and now man can't be a man, right? Real men that are the ones that really get down and dirty to provide any protection, right? Now they're being pushed to the side, and you got Transformers, robots in disguise as the saviors, while this devil's cooking up everything for this next global shutdown and everything. Right? But it says, verse 24, the Lord has a response. It says, therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of Yahweh of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of Yahweh kindled against his people, and he will stretch out his hand against them. And it says in Salakia, and he hath stretched out his hand against them, and hath smitten them. And the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And there's plenty of Jake going fully in this way and believing that this is the
Attack, often in the context of sex.
that this is the way. There's plenty of niggas that really think that this is the way. This is the next course. Well, you seeing right now that, hey, what's being cooked up is for the destruction of niggas, man. Because that famine is on the way too. That famine is on the way, man. Your spine, your stomach is going to touch your spine. Like the scriptures say in Tobit, the 4th chapter. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Tobit 4 and in 13 it says, now therefore my son, love thy brethren, despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them, for in pride is destruction, and in much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want, for lewdness is the mother of famine. And when you got them saying that moles are your saviors, right? When these were just, like they said, thousands in 2022 to just 5 cases a week in 2023. So you telling me a cankerous debacle of a fucking human being, out of their disease you get salvation? Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Hell no, man. But the Lord is about to send that recompense. And all the polycrises, he told you what those crises were. And they're all happening now, and they're going to intensify, and it's going to be the reason that they have to really lock this thing up. The Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say, call law, Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Shalom.